Hi, I'm Amber from Influencer Updates on Instagram, and tonight I'm going to be talking about the 3 biggest Australian influencer news stories of the week, which are Ellidy Pullin. She has offended her Darling Shine podcast listeners with 2 controversial comments. Anna Paul, I'm going to be talking about her relationship status, and Harry Jowsey. He has just been on the Perfect Match, the Netflix show Perfect Match, the season 2, and his lies and gaslighting have just been next level, and I was just shocked by the whole season. Sorry if you haven't seen the finale yet, that is a massive spoiler alert probably, but if you haven't seen it, you need to watch, even if you just watch the last 2 episodes, because that's when all the action happens. All right, so first story, Ellidy Pullin. So as you may know, she hosts the Darling Shine podcast with her podcast host, Chloe Fisher. So Chloe Fisher has just had a baby and she called her baby girl Bobby. So Ellidy has a daughter called Minnie and Chloe now has a daughter called Bobby, which is really cute that they're sort of like matching names. So the thing that I'm going to be talking about is that in their podcast group on Facebook, it's called Darling Shine Community. Somebody commented that the latest episode, Ellidy didn't come across very well. And in the comments, people were saying that there was a part where she called the podcast, she referred to like the bloody podcast, as in like she wasn't happy about the podcast sort of thing. Let me find the comments. Okay, so someone said here, do you mean the part where a friend was trying to catch up with Ellidy and Ellidy basically said she doesn't have time for her? I was thinking that sounded really bad as I was listening to it. As a friend, I would be pretty hurt. It just comes across as kind of harsh. So I've found the transcript of the podcast. I don't know if you know this, but in like Apple Podcasts, instead of listening to the podcast, you can actually go to the transcript and read the podcast. And that may sound horrible to some people, but to me, it's really good. It doesn't tell you who's speaking though. So it doesn't say like Chloe and Ellidy. Like you've just got to sort of like assume who's speaking. It's kind of like reading a book without the Chloe said, Ellidy said. But I really like reading the transcripts because I can read them so fast. Anyway, this is what Ellidy said. She said, don't base our friendship on how many minutes I speak on the phone to you and all that shit. My friends should know that I'm not a long distance person. So I love you all so much. I make an effort. I go to Sydney all the fucking time. Like you name it. Your guinea pig's having its 2nd birthday. I'm hopping on a plane. I'm going to be there. In fact, I'll be there immediately. And I make the effort. But if I'm not down there and I'm not talking to you all the time, like I hope you're well, but don't talk to me. And I sometimes get people being like, Devo, that I'm not responding or calling them back. Or can you please call me? It'd be nice if you call me and update me. Or like, I'm like, no, there's been times I've been so busy and I'm like, please don't take this personally. I can't sit on the phone right now. So that's what she said about her friend. So I feel like it's not as bad as what people were saying. It does come across kind of like she's a bit too important for her friends and she's only going to be friends with them when it suits her. I can see that did come across kind of mean. But then, yeah, there was also the bit where someone said, I think the comment, the fucking dumbass podcast stressing me the fuck out was a bit of a kick in the guts as an OG listener. So I can see why listeners would be offended as her referring to the podcast as the fucking dumbass podcast. But this is quoted what she said. She has said that herself and Chloe never have fights. The only fights we have are fucking to do with the dumb ass podcast, which stresses us the fuck out. So I don't think she was really saying that the podcast is dumb. She was more saying that like it's dumb that they fight over the podcast, if that makes sense. I don't know. What do you think in the comments? Let me know down below and I'll read some at the end. So the next story... So I just take screenshots of like what I'm going to talk about. The next story is Anna Paul's relationship status. So the Pedestrian TV Awards were on just recently and Anna did a few interviews with them on the red carpet. You can go to Pedestrian TV Instagram if you want to see those interviews. And she was questioned about her relationship status. So she said they said, have you ever been on a bad date? And she said something like, I was in one relationship for 8 years and there hasn't been anything since then. And everybody was watching it and sort of like, well, aren't you in a relationship now? Because it's assumed she's been in a relationship with her friend, Amaric. So I posted on TikTok this week, somebody had sent this in to me that Amaric has this water bottle that's dark grey. Like he is in her videos with this water bottle. And then Anna did a tour of her bedroom and she showed the bedside table and Amaric's water bottle was on it. So that to me implies that that is where he sleeps in her house. He also like travels everywhere with her. People have told me that he is in her OnlyFans content. Like, to me, they're very much in a relationship, and I'm not sure why she's not admitting that they're in a relationship, but there's a lot of rumors going around. Some people are saying no way, like that's Addis's boyfriend, but no, Addis has a girlfriend that he does not show on social media. And some people are saying that it's because of the crossover with Glenn. So there's a theory that she did go to Europe before she broke up with Glenn. Like, we definitely all know that. And she did a speech before it saying, just letting you all know Glenn's not coming, but we're not broken up. I know you're all going to ask. We're just having a separate holiday. And then she got back from Europe and then they broke up shortly after that. She did go on that Europe trip with Amaric. And I'm wondering if there was a crossover. A lot of people are wondering that. And maybe that's why she's not talking about it. Then there's theories about why she bought the car for Glenn when they broke up, or shortly after they broke up. She bought him this 1992 Nissan sort of car, like some collector's car that was worth like $100,000 or something. And people are saying it's like a hush money thing, like I cheated on you, or she probably didn't cheat on him, I don't know, but you know, it was sort of like, you know, this is a car, don't speak about anything that's happened. But then there were also theories that maybe he helped her get like the High Smile collaboration, because that was sort of around the same time. And the gifting of the car, her High Smile branded car was in the background of like all of the video footage of this gift. And maybe it was like a sponsored deal of some sort. So I don't know, there's a lot of theories, but Anna hasn't spoken on any of these theories, of course. Then I was going to talk about Harry Jowsey and his perfect match stuff, but my screenshots haven't worked, have they? Technical errors. This is very frustrating. Oh, I think that's because with my subscriber content, you can't actually screenshot anything. So if you give me a minute, maybe I'll just talk off my head because I know this very well. So the third topic I'm going to talk about is Harry Jowsey and his time on Perfect Match on the Netflix series Perfect Match Season 2. So, oh my gosh, I love Harry Jowsey, which is going to annoy so many people, but I love him in a way you wouldn't think. I love him in the way that he is such a good character for TV. He's so entertaining. When I saw that he was going to be on Perfect Match Season 2, I was like, yes. I mean, we've known this for quite a while prior to the show being announced, because everybody just sort of knew that him and Jess were in a secret relationship during his time on Dancing with the Stars, and they weren't able to announce that publicly, so it's all been kept very quiet. But yes, he is on Season 2 of Perfect Match, and the show is juicy. So he matched up with Jess from Love is Blind Season 6, and they matched up as soon as she came into the house. They were just like, yep, we're together, and they were just so strong. And then there was like a temptation day where all of the boys had to go to like a retreat together, and all the girls that had been kicked off the show so far, maybe a few extras as well, they all came in to like tempt the men to like cheat on their partners or leave their partners sort of thing. And Harry, as I said, we thought him and Jess were so solid. And he ended up kissing another girl, Melinda. So she was the host of, I think, Dated and Related, maybe. So, the premise of Perfect Match is that it's all Netflix ex-reality contestants, and they all come on, like all from different shows, and they all come on this dating show. So yeah, she was, I think, the host of Dated and Related. And so she was on there, and Harry ended up kissing her multiple times, but it was not on camera, but they had the audio of it, and they also had footage of him like carrying her to the bathroom or something. They also had footage of a conversation where he was saying he wants to impregnate her, which is quite vile. But anyway, so yeah, he cheated on Jess, and then he went back into the house and he gaslit everybody. He said, absolutely not, that did not happen. And Melinda's like, what? Like, we kissed 3 times and you told me you wanted to get me pregnant, and now you're telling everybody that didn't happen? So he just denied, just like he did on Too Hot to Handle Season 1 when he kissed Fran and was denying it. Turns out he definitely did kiss her. But yeah, so straight away when I saw it, I'm like, 100% he kissed her. Like, I totally believe Melinda. I always believe the woman in these situations, but also I had seen that he did it on a previous reality show. So then in the finale, they showed the footage, and oh, well, actually, no, at the time, his girlfriend Jess questioned him directly and said, you know, I want this to work with us. I need to know, did you kiss her? And he was like, no, I didn't. Like, straight in the eyes, no, I didn't. And he said that twice because she then asked him again. But yeah, anyway, he's not a very nice person, I suppose. And then, yeah, I was like, great. I love that they showed the footage and just shafted him completely. And so I listened to his podcast about the episode, and he was saying, you know, I'm deeply sorry and I've learnt from this and I'm now boyfriend material, which that's the name of his podcast, Boyfriend Material. He said that him and Jess did rekindle after the show and they did pursue a relationship outside of the house, and the only other couple that pursued a relationship outside of the house were the winners. I don't even remember their names because they were barely even on the show. It was Christine and not sure what the man's name was, but yeah, it was a really, really good season and I highly recommend you watch it. All right, so I'll go through the questions now. If Christie Swadling is watching, just know we support you and violence is never okay. Yeah, if that is the case for her, that is definitely true, that we support her and violence is never okay. But an apprehended violence order doesn't necessarily mean physical violence. Despite the name, it could mean verbal abuse. So we don't know what's happened there. I did a podcast on the a YouTube video on the 26th of April. If you want to go back and watch it from about the 5-minute mark, I spoke about the apprehended violence order that Chrissy was getting against her fiance Joel, but you can actually have that while still living in a domestic relationship. But yeah, it seemed in the last week that they had broken up because she deleted all of the photos of him from her Instagram, and also she wasn't posting him on stories. But then the last day or two, she has been posting him heaps again and has posted him back on her stories, just like a new one, not all the old ones. So I'm not sure if they maybe split and got back together in the last week, or maybe something just happened. Not sure. Old mate says Kearns already back to sharing her kids' full faces again. Thoughts? This has come up in my DMs so much today, and I feel really bad for Sarah because I think that she has been misunderstood. Like, if you go back to her post from a few weeks ago when she said she's going to be showing less of her children, she's going to be asking them permission to show them on her Instagram, and yeah, I don't know. She never said she's not going to be showing them anymore. Like, basically she said she's now going to have boundaries around what she shows, and she's going to be getting permission from her children to share things. And she has been since, like, covering their faces quite a lot. But yeah, over the weekend, during the last few days, she has been showing their faces again, and people are up in arms about it. But yeah, if you read her spiel, she still is sticking to what she said. Someone here is saying that they don't think Ellidy was offensive and it was more from a place of her own self-doubt. Yeah, that's definitely probably part of it. She referred to the podcast as a dumbass fucking podcast when speaking about why they were stressed or fighting with each other. Yes, I agree. That's what I said before about she was more meaning that it's dumb that they fight about it. I think people are casting their own expectations of friendships on others. Ellidy's friendships don't need to be the same as others. I wonder if that's because she is a single mum. She does work, like, her podcast is a big job. Like, it's one of the most listened to podcasts in the country, and she is traveling a lot. So yeah, maybe people sort of think that she should be behaving the same as, you know, a normal mum who's just, you know, home a lot or like working locally or whatever. But yeah, I guess that's what that means. I think she is just super busy and stretched thin. I love the podcast and listen every week. I agree. I think that she is super busy and stressed and, yeah, stretched very thin. A lot of people are saying that, yeah, the comments about being offended are out of context. If you don't like it, don't listen. Yeah, I think she's a legend and I love her, someone has said here. All right, now it looks like we're moving on to Anna comments. So someone's saying here that Anna is playing with everyone. Yeah, for sure. Like, she would 100% know that everybody is assuming she's with Amaric, and she still shows him in all her vlogs and everything. So she would know that we're all saying this. People say it to me all the time. They'd be saying it to her all day, every day. Oh, also the video I posted on TikTok this week about their relationship. and the drink bottles and stuff. It's got 850,000 views when I last checked and 1,500 comments. It has gone completely viral. Mainly it's people saying, shut up, leave Anna alone. Like, just because it's a drink bottle doesn't mean that they're in a relationship. But, you know, that's just what TikTok is. It's a big reason why I stopped posting on TikTok, because the comments there are just crazy. The amount of comments, but also just people are just so vicious on there. But yeah, this week I just had a bit of a moment where I thought, I'm going to start posting on TikTok again. And I've been trying to do a video every day. Some of them have done very well in that, like, people are enjoying the video and responding nicely. Others not so much. So I'm trying to like learn what sort of content people want to see on there. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'll do it ongoing, because tonight when I tried to come up with 3 topics for my live, I was like, oh, well, I've already talked about quite a few topics on TikTok this week. So I wanted to choose different ones for tonight's live. But yeah, not sure. Someone here says that Ellidy may be neurodivergent and possibly means that she can't sit on the phone and talk. Sometimes it's just too much for a neurodivergent person to have to deal with other people. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I'm not officially neurodivergent. I don't think I'm neurodivergent, but sitting on the phone talking to people is so draining. And I just feel like, oh, I could be doing so much more with my time right now. Send me a voicemail instead. Or text. It's only my mum that ever calls me, actually. How many dating shows has Harry Jowsey been on now? Yeah, there's a few. So there was one before Too Hot to Handle. It was like a New Zealand one. Then there was Too Hot to Handle. Then there was Perfect Match. Maybe there's only been 3, but maybe I'm forgetting one. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Yeah, it does seem to be the way, doesn't it? Someone wants to join my live. I'm just going to cancel that one. Thoughts on the Keep It Cleaner social media strategy. So that's Steph. Oh my gosh. Steph Claire Smith and Laura Henshaw. It seems to be dividing followers. Yeah, so the Outspoken podcast spoke about this maybe this week, and they were saying how a lot of people are finding their social media strategy cringe, and that they're trying to like keep up with like Gen Z trends, and it's just not their personality. And even just like the snippets of the podcast, they're always about like sex and stuff, like very clickbaity. But I mean, what do I think of their social media strategy? I can see why they're doing it. I think that the TikTok audience is, I feel like I'm doing a lot of crossover here with Outspoken, but I feel like the TikTok audience is much younger in general. Like, I know when I look at my analytics in the background, the TikTok audience is younger, like 10 years younger on average, about 25, rather than Instagram, which is about 35. And I think that they're trying to appeal to that 25-year-old audience, and that's why people who are probably on Instagram and maybe closer to 35 are finding that content cringe. Like, I'm even thinking about outfits that other influencers wear, like Izzy Armitage. She showed an outfit just yesterday, I think it was, and a lot of the comments about it were saying like, oh, you look like you're from Kath and Kim. Like, to me, the current fashion is very like old fashioned to me. And I think that that's the sort of thing that's happening with these videos that Kik are making. That, yeah, like we as people who are about 35, we've grown up with these girls, and now they're making content for younger people and it's coming across as cringe. I think maybe that's what it is. So maybe they need to like keep the TikTok videos on TikTok and the Instagram stuff on Instagram. But I can definitely see why they're trying to appeal to a younger audience, because it's just more customers. That's how they're going to grow their brand. So I think it's probably a good social media strategy to try and widen their range. I remember at the start of the year, they used Sam Guggenheimer as an influencer for the Run Club. And I think that that was a really good move, and probably in line with, yeah, them trying to generate a younger audience. Has Canvas and Cork launched yet? No. So I think it's Monday. Kayla, my sister, she is launching her business Canvas and Cork. It's a paint and sip studio in Torquay. And I think it's on Monday that she's going to be opening up the classes online. It might be Wednesday, but it's sometime this coming week. And I think she's doing a discount, maybe 50% off for the first opening 2 weeks, because she can't have like an opening night because it only fits 24 people for the classes. So she's going to have an opening 2 weeks. And yeah, I think it's in September sometime. But yeah, that'll all be announced in this coming week. It's all very exciting. Do people get annoyed about influencers showing kids' faces in general, or only after the influencers says that they're going to stop? I think both. Yeah, people get annoyed that influencers use their children for content. And it's even extra annoying when they say they're not going to use them as content. Sarah's Day did it one time, saying she's going to steer away from using her kids as content, and then showed them as content like the next day. But I think that overall Sarah's Day, as well as Sarah Kearns, have been using their children a lot less as content. And there was someone else. So they're going to stop and then don't. Yep, sorry, I've lost my train of thought there. But yeah, I think it's a bit of both. Don't know what that's about. Comment on Olivia Molly Rogers taking up a new gig as Logies red carpet interviewer. I didn't know that she was going to be doing that. That is amazing. I think that hosting must be her new thing. Like, she's going to be hosting the red carpets for the Beauty and the Beast premiere in Melbourne on Saturday night, so tomorrow night. So yeah, I think that maybe that's what she's trying to get into, hosting. And I think that sounds really great. Like, she is very fashionable. She's really, you know, the way she dresses is very fashionable, and her content is a lot of fashion. So I think she seems a really good fit for that. She's also obviously very good at public speaking. She's done like her Miss Universe sort of stuff. She is a really good fit for that. Oh, also that man that she posted on her account this week, so it was a black and white photo of herself with a man, and people are thinking it's a soft launch of her new boyfriend, but I don't think it is. I think she's messing with us. There's nothing in the comments. Like, I think that she wanted us all to think that, but I don't know. I'm not convinced. I think that it's maybe like a cousin or a friend or something. I'm killing it on TikTok apparently. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy how viral some of the videos go. Like, some of them have 3 million views, especially ones like about Tammy Hembrow and Anna Paul. They just go so crazy on TikTok. Oh yeah, this was a very big story this week. Aussie mum vlogger charging a ridiculous amount for life coaching with no experience, and in pretty recent past has needed help herself. Just wants dollars. Professionals charge less. I mean, that is a pretty harsh summary of the situation, but Aussie mum vlogger Kira Darrow, I think her surname is, she has launched a life coaching business. So she did do a life coaching course maybe earlier this year. Like, I do remember she definitely did a course, and she's now launched her own life coaching business, and she is charging $2,500 a month, and that includes 2 Zoom calls with follow-up emails with action plans, as well as daily voxes. So that's where you like voicemail each other. So daily voxer check-ins. And yeah, $2,500 I believe is a very, very high price for somebody who is beginning their life coaching career. Like, to me, if you've like established yourself and, you know, you've got lots of good feedback and people really trust you, $2,500, no worries. Like, that is fine. But yeah, it seems that that is a lot for someone starting. Also, if somebody has $2,500 to spend on a life coach for 1 month, they probably don't need a life coach. Like, yeah, $2,500 spare per month is a lot of money, and they're probably doing pretty well for themselves. But obviously, I do hope that she does well with it. Hopefully there are people who really resonate with her and really want her advice, and they will get a lot out of it. I mean, that's what everyone hopes for, of course. Oh, someone here saying that they love talking on the phone. That's really cute. Harry Jowsey is a flog, apparently. Yes, he's been on Dancing with the Stars in America. I should have clarified that. Anyone styling themselves as a coach is just out to scam you. I disagree. I mean, there's definitely a lot of coaching scams out there, so I can see why they get that reputation. Oh yes, I haven't mentioned this one either. The comments on Ellidy Pullin's Macca's post today. So I've mentioned it in subscribers, but Ellidy did an ad for McDonald's today, and the comments are just flooded with anti-genocide propaganda, I suppose. So a lot of people are saying, you know, that McDonald's supports Israeli troops and Israeli troops are attacking Gaza. So yeah, it's been flooded with Palestine war stuff if you want to go read all that. So I don't know how, because I don't imagine a lot of her followers would be preaching that sort of thing. I'm wondering if it's been like posted somewhere and then a group of people are all coming and flooding her post with the same sort of comments. Not really sure. Someone's saying here they find selling Monate, I think they call it Monate, cringe, so the hair stuff. I don't think the actual selling of it is cringe. There's probably a lot of people who aren't cringe, but I think that the influencers you see that are like constantly talking about it and some of the marketing tactics they use definitely are cringe. Do we think that Molly May, the UK influencer, has had a BBL from her Instagram stories? I have not seen her Instagram stories, but I do not think that. I don't know how she would have hidden it if she had. I think that what she has done is lost a significant amount of weight. So obviously with that, there would be significant Ozempic rumors, but I'm not sure how she's lost weight. But yeah, I think she's lost a lot of weight, and maybe that has changed the shape of her body, and also having a baby would change the shape of her body, but I don't know if she would have had a BBL. I just don't think that would be something she would do, but maybe. Jaz Hand Made and Fayt does the TikTok so well. So maybe they are trying the same but not working with their niche. Yeah, I agree. Jaz Hand Made and Fayt do really good TikToks. And I think that the kick stuff with Steph and Laura, I think that it's quite different to Jaz Hand Made and Fayt. Like, it's very much trends. Whereas Jaz Hand Made and Fayt, I feel like they're sort of doing their own thing. They're really like leading the way, not just like copying other trends. I do find the kick stuff very funny though. Like, I get that it's a bit cringe, but it's also very funny for that same reason. The Emma mattress hard sell is as bad as Monate. I mean, how many do each influencer actually get? I totally agree. Every influencer is selling these Emma mattresses. I noticed this week that Madison Woolley, her new apartment, she's got a new bed, and it's a koala bed. And it really surprised me because I feel like koala is not her typical brand. Like, I can't imagine that's the aesthetic she would be going for. Like, she seems very like, everything has to be white and modern and clean and classy. And then she's got this wooden koala bed. It's so strange to me. But yeah, I guess, you know, money talks, and all these influencers getting their Emma mattresses. Obviously I've got morals about me as well. But like, you know, I feel like if someone wanted to pay me to promote an Emma mattress and give me a free mattress, that seems like a really good deal. Speaking of Emma Claire, the influencer or ex-influencer, I have inside information that she had her baby just recently, so that's a bit of good news. That's all the information I'll give because she doesn't want to be spoken about anymore. And yeah, but that's very big congratulations to her. I've noticed Anna McAvoy Instagram went from people asking where her outfits are from, and she never replies and shares. Okay, that's a bit annoying for people, I suppose, but I suppose Anna just doesn't have time to reply to everybody. Maybe she could start tagging the outfits. Not sure, but sometimes if you ask other people reading the comments, they might answer. So yeah, I didn't realize she didn't answer that stuff. Kiara and her husband are money hungry. She puts all her time into herself and doesn't even put much into her kids or cook them any nutritional meals. I'm going to skip that. I feel like she gets so much mum shaming, and I don't want to mum shame. Like, she is a working mum. She needs to do what she's got to do, and her husband is just as responsible for those kids as she is. So yeah, I don't like to join in with that. Lucy and Nikki hosted the radio all week. Wow, that's really cool. Their show must be doing really well. Like, I know they're normally on Saturday nights. I listen on their podcast. They always post like the highlights. But yeah, that's really cool that they hosted all week. I didn't know that. Oh, I'm seeing heaps of comments now about the Kiara thing. I thought I was nearly caught up. Oh yeah, I am. Molly May is so wealthy, she would have a private chef. Yeah, she probably could if she wanted to, but I think she does do a bit of cooking herself, like as far as her YouTube goes. But yeah, especially with like her fiance Tommy being an athlete, like they would have a lot of cooking done for them, no doubt. Oh, Anna McAvoy is being paid for her outfits. That's why she doesn't answer. I feel like if she was being paid for her outfits, that would make her more likely to answer. Jackie O tags her outfits and everyone says she's bragging. Oh, Anna doesn't tag and people say she's rude. You just can't win. Yeah, that's maybe why. Maybe Anna's outfits are expensive and she doesn't want to seem like she's bragging about it. That is a good point. All right, well, thank you all for joining. I'm going to post this on YouTube now, and if you've got any questions, send me a DM. Thanks to all the new subscribers for this week. I posted about my subscription and lots of new people have signed up, and hopefully you're all loving the daily updates that I post on there, because I love posting them, and yeah, it's really exciting for me when more people subscribe. Obviously, I do earn more money, but I just love more people to see my content as well. So thank you, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.